There was one scout, about this guy's age right here, right? What, you got 11, 12, something like that? 13? Close enough, okay. One scout about this guy's age, right? When I took over as scoutmaster, 98, 99, right? First year, I took over from a guy named Phil Kessel. My son joined under Kessel. I was assistant scoutmaster. I was helping him out. So Kessel, one of the dads, had a condo or something up in the Catskills somewhere. I don't know, I think it was near Ski Wyndham or something like that. So they loaded a bunch of kids, about 8 or 9 kids, into a couple of cars, and they drove up there. My son, Kyle Van Oster, and a couple of us went up there. I did a ski trip that year, before I was scoutmaster. So I take over, and you know, I'm planning out what I'm going to do in January, and I guess I was going to do a trip on the mountain or something like that, you know. So Kyle Van Oster comes in, Mr. Donaldson, how come we're not doing a ski trip like Mr. Kessel did? So, Kyle, I'll get back to you on that, okay? Yeah, I'll get back to you. So I said, yeah, what am I going to do? They want to go skiing and the challenge now, and I don't know much about skiing. I said, well, wait a minute. When my kids were really little, I would bring them up here from Long Island, and my sister would bring her kids up from Montville, New Jersey, and we'd meet at my brother's place. And we pack all these sandwiches and stuff like that. We go over to West Mountain and we ski. It was always on this weekend. So I said, well, okay, the only place I know is West Mountain. And okay, I'll have some kids come up. We can stay at my brother's place and we'll go over to West Mountain. And that'll be the end of that, you know. Get it over with. So there was like 3 parents, Howie Lucas, myself, and I forget who else it was, Mr. Farley or somebody. Anyway, so we brought up about 8 or 9 kids. We camped out at my brother's house on his floor over there. And we went skiing. I had a great weekend. It was really a lot of fun. So we went back and my kids talked it up and said, hey, that's really great. And so, you going to do it next year? I said, well, I guess I have to now. Next year, I guess I brought up to my brother's place maybe 12 or 14 kids. All their camping gear, the sleeping bags, and we slept on his floor. That worked out pretty good. And some of the parents wanted to come up. And they didn't want to stay. You know, oh, where can we stay? And so one of the moms said, oh, the Queensbury Hotel. Why don't you check that out? So yeah, it's pretty nice. Third year, right? Third year, we had maybe, I don't know, 20 kids that wanted to go on this trip, right? And the parents wanted to go. So I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, I really want to make this like a scouting adventure, not just a ski trip. So what I did was I went up and I rented a scout cabin, a couple of scout cabins up in in this district here, right? And they were the most horrible, cold, decrepit. It was up in Fort Anne. It was about 10, 50 miles up here. Very cold, no electricity. They had these little gas lights, you know. But it was so incredibly cold. It was horrible. And the latrine, you had to go out in the latrine. It was like 0 degrees. It was just really awful, like minus 12 or something like that. So anyway, the parents are staying over here in a hotel. And there's women, and they're having, you know, they're having drinks in the bar, and they're having a good old time. And meanwhile, I have these kids freezing out in the cabins out there. So we did a Friday night. It was pretty good. Okay, we got up there, you know, and then the kids all came up to the cabin and say, "Oh, we went skiing the next day. That was great. Okay." So some of the kids were saying, you know, Mr. Donaldson, you know, it would be okay if I like stay with my parents. Yeah, go ahead. You know, yeah. So the second night, you know, I had half the kids there, and the last night. Would be Sunday night. The only kids at the cabin were the kids of the scout leaders. Everybody else was there. So I said, okay, that's not going to work. We said, hotel only. So we had this one woman that was really helping us out, Mrs. Rosman. And she was like a really plan. She would plan everything out. Maybe you know the name. She's still around Northwood. So she was very detail-oriented. So she, you know, booked the hotel and got all the special rates over at the mountain and stuff like that. She was really great to have. And then, so the next year we brought, you know, a whole bunch of people, and then we were here, and we went out skiing. We had a good time, but we didn't have anything planned for after skiing. So some people went to the Pizza Hut, and some people went to McDonald's, and some people went to Davidson's, some people went here, there, and everywhere. So I got back after that trip, and I said, you know, I feel like I'm running, you know, Perillo's Tour of the North, you know. There's no scouting significance. I'm just taking people skiing, and it's not a Boy Scout trip. I said, what can we do about that? So Mrs. Ross said, let's have a dinner at the hotel, at least one night. I said, great, okay. You plan it out. So she did. She planned the whole thing out. Hence, that's why you're here now. So ever since that time, hotel, dinner, and then West Mountain, And I guess Joe took over. He said, well, let's expand our horizons. Let's go up to Gore Mountain. Probably a good thing you did this weekend, because I went out to West Mountain yesterday. When I got here, I was looking for the Northport people. There's nobody there. But I'm really happy that you guys are here, and it's just wonderful. Thank you for inviting me. It's a privilege, to be with my old troop again. I was a Scoutmaster from September '98 till June of 2004. Joe took over for me after that, and time goes on. But this trip looks like it's going to happen forever. I hope you guys had a good time this weekend. Did you? Was it okay? Yeah. You going to come back again next year and do it again, you think? No, right? Okay, well, that's the story of the trip to West Mountain. It started with me. It's going to go on forever. The next Scoutmaster and the next one after that and the next one after that, I guarantee you they will be coming here, because not only that, it's a great selling point. When you get those little kiddies coming down from the Cub Scout things, those little Weeblo guys coming down, and the Scoutmaster said, hey, why don't you join our troop? We got this great trip, by the way. Oh, we're better than Troop 41. We're better than Troop 5. Because we've got this great trip that Mr. Donaldson's like, yeah. So that's why you got 50, 60, 70 Scouts right now, whatever it is. I mean, when I took over the troop, I was down to 12 Scouts. And then it just got bigger because this trip was so popular and the word got out. And I advertised it. I told the parents when they come down, yeah, it's a great trip. Word got around Northport. Great trip. And of course, we brought a lot of business to Davison's over here. I don't know if you guys had a chance to go over there, but he was a friend of my brother Paul's, and he was just started the restaurant. He was having a difficult time, so I said, why don't we go to Davison's? Buy a couple of hamburgers over there, give the guy a break. Everybody loved Davison's, so that seems to be on the roadmap as well. Every time you come here, especially Greg, look at him smiling over there. But so that's the trip. That's the story of the trip. I want you guys to enjoy yourself tonight. And, I really thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me to join me tonight. I really, really do appreciate it.